Hey there, friendlies. Welcome to the 21st of October edition of the Not So BR Blades and Bushcraft live stream. This is the election night in Canada special. I'm just taking a look at what's going down here. I'm getting messages. So yeah, it's an impromptu live stream. My camera is definitely not doing a very good job of... Hey there, Tyler. How is up, mister? Oh, and my sinuses are just... They're going nuts. How's my picture quality, guys? Does it look as bad as it does to me? Hey, Nick. How's it going? Man, it looks like my camera is really not doing me any favors tonight. Does it? Okay. So in that case, it's probably just just on my side that nothing is working properly. It's not funny, is it? Maybe it's a little funny. Picked is low quality. Okay. So what's going on with that? What's up with that? What is going down? Exit solo layout. That's not what I need to do. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to deal with it. I don't know how long I'm going to be on tonight. So as you guys may or may not know, it's election night in Canada. 9:30 is when the polls closed here in Quebec. Up until just now, it was all like Eastern Canada and the Gaspé. So I'm expecting to see the numbers jump a lot. The incumbent Liberals were leading with like 24-ish seats. The Conservatives were sitting at around 6. I mean, that's not elected. That's elected and leading. So it doesn't look like the Conservatives are on their way to a majority. And it looks like the Liberals aren't either. So that'll be interesting. Oh, yes, Quebec definitely has just appeared. So now the Liberals are leading in 44. So you guys are American, so you may not... Oh, yeah, Tyler, I'm using... what's it called? StreamYard? So that if anyone actually wants to get on and discuss, they can get an invite. Now, because we're talking about a Canadian election, I'm not doing Scotch tonight. I'm doing a Canadian whiskey. Wayne Gretzky, number 99. I don't care about Wayne Gretzky himself because I don't care about hockey. But he does make a good whiskey. And apparently he makes a very good wine as well. Let me just check out my settings down at the bottom here. High def 720. What are you talking about? This is a 1080p camera, man. Oh well. I'll just leave it for now. Good old 99. Interesting. So yeah. I have no idea what to expect from tonight's election. Tonight's election feels existential in the way the last one kind of didn't. We have a regional party in Quebec that seems to be resurgent as hell. It had been blown out of the water by the NDP 2 elections ago and couldn't seem to get its footing in the last election, but they got a leader with a lot of snap to him now. And the Prime Minister is not very popular. And the Conservatives are running a boogeyman. And the NDP, the leader of the NDP, wears a turban, which in Quebec, for some stupid reason, tends to be a problem. So I'm expecting to see the Bloc make a bigger showing this year. So for those of you who Americans, oh, sorry, my sinuses are just... you can become Prime Minister without having a majority. Okay, because there are, 6 parties running this election? 5? Conservatives, Liberals, NDP, Bloc, Greens, People's Party. I don't think I'm missing anyone. And of course, there's like independent, whatever. So you can be prime minister without having an absolute majority. You just have to have more than anyone else. Now, um, in Canada's parliament, you need 170 seats to have a majority. Now, what a majority means is you can do whatever the hell you want because you have the votes behind you. You whip votes so that all members of your hey Simon, come on va. Rhinoceros, they're sort of they're other. They're not making a big showing, but they were actually defunct for a while. In the in the comments section, I will put. I don't know if that's going to work. Like, I don't know how to just sort of hand off the. Invite. Yeah. So that's a link for anyone who wants to get on and pretend to be a pundit. But so you can have a majority government in Canada or a minority government, which makes it like very close to every other country in the world. You guys in the States are very bizarre because you can't have that. You've only got really a two-party system. What a minority government means is if you lose a major vote in the House, you essentially lose your right to govern and it goes to election, unless you can create a coalition. What I would like to see tonight is a minority government, preferably liberal, but any minority, because then they pretty much have to put a coalition together so that they don't essentially get voted out. They lose whatever's the first big vote in the House of Commons, and then they're out. I think in a minority liberal situation, the NDP and maybe the Greens could go into a coalition with them. In a minority conservative situation, we'll be going to another election very soon. See if Simon wants to join. Hey, can you hear me? Somebody tell Simon that he's on. Hike with Mike. Run some a whole other meeting in the States? Really? What do they have? What's their meeting in the States? Tyler, are you saying bonsoir to Simon? Oh yeah, he is. Okay. But Simon doesn't seem to know that he's on.
Yeah, trying to make sense.
Is this your first time using whatever it's called, StreamYard, Simon?
Bringing in some. Drop this one out.
Okay, so while Simon's working out his tech issues, so what I'd like to see is a minority government. Whereas minority government, it's funny, in many, many countries, minority governments don't move anything forward, but at least they can't bugger everything up. In Canada, most of the things that we tend to think of as Canadian values things come from minority governments. Medicare. Sorry, I'm just getting, because it was really blue, because all the light was coming from the screen, so I'm fixing that. Simon gone. It's okay. He'll come back. He's got to come back. He's addicted. Yeah, pretty much everything that we consider Canadian identity things came from minority governments, like Medicare, the dental plan for kids, if I'm not mistaken, the whole welfare state thing, because a smaller party can. All right, I'm going to add Simon again and hope that he's problem free. Salut, monsieur. Dilla? I usually can't shut this guy up, but tonight he's not even talking. I'll just sit here and drink whiskey. Do you hear anything, Simon? So where were we? Yeah, and I'm not a massive fan of the Liberal Party, but I think that in this election, at the end of the day, we've only ever had a government from one of the two big parties, the Liberals or the Conservatives. Now, when these parties started, they weren't called Liberal or Conservative. The Liberal Party, when it started, was the Parti Rouge, the Red Party, and the Conservatives were the Parti Bleu. Which is why their colors are red and blue. Now, those are the only two parties that have ever given us a prime minister. And for one, this isn't the election to do it, but man, I'm tired of those two parties just batting the country back and forth every few elections, like some drunken sorority sister at a kegger. It irritates me to no end. That is always one of. It's like people go to the voting place, and it's like those are the only two choices. No one else even comes. They don't even have a concept of putting someone else down on the ballot. And it creates sort of a weird quasi two-party system because everyone else is voting for an opposition party, not for the prime minister. I mean, even those of us who didn't vote for one of the two big parties, I didn't vote for prime minister. By default, I didn't vote for prime minister. And now granted, it doesn't matter which way I voted because in my riding, the member of parliament is an astronaut. So he's just going to keep winning. Well, Simo's gone. Tyler, rough connection on our end. Educate us. Interested to hear about how those things come from a minority government. Okay. Very simple. The party that would become the NDP, say, propped up the government of the day. But in return for supporting the party in power, when you have what do they call it? There are two kinds of arrangements. One is a supply, I don't remember the bloody name, and the other one is a coalition government. In either way, the smaller party that is working with the minority government party can make certain demands. And if that party is someone like the NDP, those demands tend to take the form of social programs, which is how you get hey there, Tenenbaum. Tenenbaum, I'm going to answer your email at some point soon. I'm so bad at email these days. Like I go to open up my email and I get like anxious about it and I click on Facebook instead. It's really weird. I don't know what's going on. And so like that's how it happens, that's how you end up with things that weren't on the ticket of one of the retail parties, I call them. It doesn't always work that way in today's climate where people hate each other so much more. It would be much harder to get anything like that to happen. That's why everybody should register no party or independent. Then you're not a slave to either big party and you keep them guessing. Hike with Mike, that's an interesting point because up here you don't register for a party. Like who you vote for is your business. And you don't register it anywhere. You can register it by becoming a member of one of a party. But you're not registered anywhere as a member of a party, Like, I don't even know. Oh, it crashed on you, Simo. Okay. I don't even know why one would register as a member of a party. I'll be right back, guys. Hi, bad? Could you you throw me a box of Kleenex, please? Je suis en train de live streaming, so je peux pas comme. Merci. Sorry, guys. I think I'm developing a cold or something, but man, my sinuses are just going crazy on me here. Hey, Tenenbaum, did you get to do an absentee ballot? I know. Okay, I'm going to let Simon in again. Simon, did you know? No? Simon's still having technical issues. Hi, good. Mike has a wicked cold as well. Man, what's up with that? You know, hi, good Mike. It's weird because
I'm back. Oh, jeez.
You all right? Everything okay there, monsieur? You did attempt to. Oh yeah, Tenenbaum. Yeah, the mail, eh? Hi, good Mike. In Montreal, it's even worse because even our municipal elections are by political party, which makes us very different to most other cities in Canada, probably the States. Well, Tenenbaum, I'm optimistic that your vote made it in. Scott, you could just build your wall and I'll sneeze right over it. But it's Hike with Mike has a wicked cold, so I think it snuck in. It snuck across the border no matter what. I'm medicating though, because it's the Canadian election special. I'm having a Canadian whiskey. Hey, speaking of which, what are the numbers like? Yeah, the Liberals are leading or elected in 78 seats. Elected in 21, leading in 57. Conservatives are elected in 4, leading in 43. The Bloc Québécois still has no one elected, but they're leading in 12. NDP elected in 1, leading in 8. Greens are leading in 1. People's Party, I'm pleased to see, is not showing up on the board at all. That party really pisses me off. Except that I was hoping that they would split the right wing vote a lot more. It's funny because
13.
Where do you see 13? The Bloc? Let me. Oh yeah, 13. Now the Liberals are up at 79. So you need to get to 170 to be able to just govern without caring what anyone else thinks. Okay,
The Bloc is now 13.
Simon has 15 to 20 seconds of latency. Okay. Tenenbaum is very pleased with that January 2019 Supreme Court decision. Oh yeah, because you lost the right to vote, didn't you? Was that like a Harper thing? I think it was a Harper thing, wasn't it? But yeah, yeah. The results are coming in hard and fast now. This doesn't look like a very good night for the Greens, but they're a small party. Doesn't look like that great a night for the Conservatives. Actually, they're leading in 50, but they've only got 4 seats so far. That'll change. Traditionally, in Canadian election, the election is called before Manitoba even comes onto the board. If it's going to be a majority government, 100%. As soon as Quebec and Ontario are counted, the election is decided. So everyone west is kind of like, if it's going to be a minority government, though, it becomes more interesting because that doesn't happen. You can be counting right up until British Columbia, and they close later than us. BC and the Yukon close at 10 o'clock their time. So I probably won't be awake by the time they're closed, but if they don't call a majority government, I may have to stay up just to see, Yeah, Tannenbaum, the Rhino, Republican in name only. Okay, I didn't even know about that. Simo is experiencing 27 seconds of latency. That is bad. And the picture quality is all messed up. Hey, Tannenbaum, that's just another legacy of the Harper government that I couldn't abide by. So it'll be interesting to see if, although it looks like the Liberals are charging towards a majority at this point, just bugs me. But if they don't get that majority, that'll be interesting. Because that's when like Manitoba and Alberta, Saskatchewan and British Columbia might actually, their votes might actually count. Oh, God, I'm dying here, guys.
Conservative are pretty much on the way to
Hey, Jonathan.
to wipe all Western Canada anyway.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, they always do, right? Well, they get the prairies, then BC kind of tends it doesn't really stop them necessarily, but it goes a little more sort of three-way. And there'll be at least one green in BC tonight. Because Elizabeth May will definitely win.
Surprisingly, they are also leading in half of New Brunswick.
Yeah. But like the old school Conservatives before the Harper years, like the whole East, like all of Eastern Canada would go Conservative, some elections. So it's interesting to see that they're not having trouble, but they're not having a great time of it. I mean, the Liberals definitely did better in Eastern or are doing better in Eastern Canada by a large margin. So, Jonathan Milley, how's it going?
Kind of. Bloc Québécois is doing great right now. Well, it looks to be.
Yeah. But that's only leading, right? Well, they'll probably get those seats, or at least most of them. You think Maxime Bernier is going to win his seat? Even though there are two Maxime Berniers on the ballot?
I don't think so.
No,
No.
Guys, I have to say something to Simon and then wait 30 seconds
I
for him
wouldn't
to
be
answer.
surprised if Conservative gains Beauce.
The Conservatives have won Beauce before. Now remember, the Bloc were all Conservatives until they splintered off to form their own party, right? Just wait. Hey, Scott, what would you build a wall between the United States and Canada out of?
Actually, no. There was again another Liberal that split, which was Jean Lapierre.
Yeah, but the party was essentially created from former conservatives, like as a protest. Trying to sell Philly to New Jersey cheap. Yeah, make it out of straw, make it out of wheat and maple trees, barrels of whiskey of maple syrup. Now that would be a wall to climb over, eh? But Scott, if Pennsylvania will be pure red, if not for Philly and Pittsburgh, aren't those your two population centers? Build it from cheap beer, nobody will touch it. Tyler. Not bad. Not bad. I wonder if everyone's getting 15 seconds of 15 to 30 seconds of lag.
Yeah, we could build it out of Coors and Budweiser.
Coors and Budweiser. That's all I wouldn't touch. Build it out of Guinness and I'll drink half the wall myself. Oh, God, I can't get sick right now. How are the numbers looking? Yikes. Liberals are elected in 22 and leading in 91. Please. I don't want it to be a majority. He doesn't deserve a majority. He just doesn't deserve that majority. Scott, that is true. The bigger the city, the further left they go. Absolutely. Just because that's where, you get a population mix. You get people who are on many different social strata. I mean,
No one's deserve a majority this year.
Absolutely true, Simo. Nobody deserves a majority. It was really hard to get interested in this election. I think a lot of people have that problem. What I'd be interested to see is what the percentage of people voting was. I usually vote in the advanced polling, but couldn't be bothered this year. And this is not looking like the night the Conservatives were hoping for. I'm just going to check. No. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to open up a... Jonathan, going to restart YouTube app. Okay. Better. Okay. I don't know why my camera is only shooting at 720p. Scott, I have here. I'll put up the site that I'm watching. CBC. Give me a second here, folks.
Jesse,
Yeah.
You're shooting at 720p because of the free StreamYard limitations.
Okay. I looked into getting the first pay level because there are two pay levels, right? There's a pro and a basic or whatever, but it's $200 US a year, and it wanted to charge me like now for the whole year. Yeah, the map is a nice touch. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like the NDP are going to do that well. And I mean, my riding, as I said before, I mean, the guy's an astronaut. He's going to win. Let me see if I can find Glengarry. No, Argenteuil. No. Oh, Montreal is so small that I can't quite hear. I go to Quebec, Central Montreal, Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, Westmount. Yeah, Marc Garneau has so far got 74.2% of the votes. But no, that's 5 of 207 polls reporting in, because I mean Quebec just closed like a half hour ago. But I'm pleased to see that the People's Party candidate is at 1.1% with 5 votes. That works for me. Marxist-Leninist Party of Canada is at 0.2%. No, is at 2.2%. So they're not going to be a factor at all. Hampstead, Westmount, Montreal West, they're all going to go Liberal. Coast Luke probably too. Coast Luke is running a member of the community, shall we say. Yeah, Garneau's done okay. I mean, I just think, having been an astronaut, that gives him a certain amount of cool, like personal cool. But becoming a politician kind of tears that away, Hey, Serge. Yeah, well, I figured that because it's Canadian politics, none of the American guys are going to care that much, so I can be political but still safe. Serge voted today. I just know he did. Tenenbaum Garneau got kind of snared by the Bombardier disaster, but he seems to have come out of it. Look, my problem with these guys are that I'm pissed off at the Liberals because of the electoral reform promise that wasn't kept. And when I got my CBC News projects Liberal government, they like that just popped up on my screen. But do they project? Wow,
Garneau will be reelected anyway, so.
Yeah, Garneau, absolutely. So they're leading or elected in 125 ridings. Green are leading in 2. It would be nice to see the Green make a better showing this year. I wish we lived in a country where no one party would be able to get more than 125.
Is at 29 right now.
Just leading though. No one elected so far. Looking like a liberal minority, eh? That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. The only reason why I wouldn't want a conservative minority is because Stephen Harper used a conservative minority to show themselves as not being a scary party, and then used that to win a majority in the next election and just blew the stuffing out of everything. Muzzled the scientists, disenfranchised Canadians living overseas so that they couldn't vote. Just like thing after thing after thing that was like un-Canadian, And the kind of thing that traditional conservatives in Canada wouldn't have done. Like before the Reform Party merged with the Conservative Party, the PC Party, the old school Disraeli conservatives. I didn't like them, but I respected them, because it was the traditional brand of conservatism. But these guys, this time, man, well, since like the Stephen Harper years, it's like there's a real social conservative thing there that just rubs me the wrong way. So that's why I'm kind of hoping for a liberal minority. I don't love them either, but anyway. But the Bloc are definitely killing the New Democrats in Quebec.
I'm hoping for liberal minority too.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Because
rat
none of
bastard.
them deserve a majority.
I agree. Is Serge still around? Yeah, Tenenbaum, what's your... No. I was going to ask what riding you vote for, but no, I don't want to... I don't think we should talk about anyone that geographically exact. Jonathan, you were born and bred PC in the day, but can't vote conservative. I know so many people like that. And you know what? It used to be that PC voters and liberals and NDP could all get along because at the end of the day, they were all sort of... The spectrum wasn't so far apart, but it's like there's a real populist wave crashing over the planet, and it's pulling the right-wing parties way further right than they should be, And I think it's because there's almost no one left who fought in World War II. There's almost no one left who knows what populism can turn into. I like what Scott says about career politicians. Wish our founders would have instituted term limits. Not a bad concept. I think it's traditionally like term limits would be put in place to keep a president from becoming like an emperor or a king, just continually running for office. Now, it's harder to make a case for that in a system like ours, but it's not a bad concept. And I don't like political dynasties either. I wish you could say that. Look, if your dad was a member of parliament, maybe you can't be. I don't know if that makes too much sense.
Hey, Jess.
Yeah.
Do you listen to the Dollop podcast?
No? Dollop? Wait 30 seconds for him to hear what I said. They vote themselves raises now and will never install term limits. You're absolutely right.
Well,
Tenenbaum, you're absolutely right.
Dollops was about an experiment in a nice school in California on how Nazism came up in the late 60s, I believe.
Dollop, it's called? I'll look for it. Dollop. The Dollop with Dave Anthony and Garrett, someone? Wait 30 seconds.
Here's the URL.
Okay,
The name is the Third Wave.
the third wave. I can't click on it. The dollop. Okay.
And by the way, I love this podcast.
Yeah. That's the one with Dave Anthony, right? The comedians? Um, I'm just checking
Yes, it
out the
is.
numbers here. Okay. I will
Yep.
subscribe. CBC News projects Liberal government with polls still open in BC and vote count underway in central Canada, the prairies, and the north. It remains unclear whether Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will return to Parliament with a majority or minority government. Now, I have one problem with that, and it's a problem I had with Liberals throughout this campaign. Right now, he's not Prime Minister. He stopped being Prime Minister when Parliament was dissolved and the election was called. Right now, he's just a politician. He's a member of, I guess he's a member of Parliament still, but he's not the Prime Minister right now. We have no Prime Minister right now, and I hate it when what? Don't give me an error. Subscribe to the damn podcast.
Nope.
And
He's still
I
Prime
hate it when that.
Minister. He's still Prime Minister until the new Prime Minister is
Oh, right. He's still Prime Minister, but none of his ministers are ministers anymore.
he's still,
Jonathan, you've never gotten into podcasts? Man, I love podcasts. I used to have a podcast with a friend of mine. I think I've hold on.
all of them are still ministers. The cabinet hasn't changed.
But how does that make that doesn't make sense because Parliament dissolved. Hold on a second here, guys. I'm trying to. I'm putting up a link to a podcast I used to do with a friend of mine.
Parliament is dissolved for elections, but even all members of Parliament are still under oath. They're still members of the Parliament until the newly elected members are
Tenenbaum, yeah, I know what you're saying about Europe. I've watched sort of the populist wave really crest there, and it gives me a dismal feeling. Yeah. Bushcraft Party of Canada, I like that. We should do that. We should all run in the next election. The Bushcraft Party of Canada. As Prime Minister, that's my victory sign. I will make certain rules. One, everyone will be obligated to own whatever it takes to survive for 72 hours with no services. Transfers
I'm
Brooks
not
back
sure if I
would
want
be-
to run it for bushcraft part of Canada. We should all run for rhinos.
No. Fire steals for every child. Tenenbaum is right. I would heavily subsidize the purchase of Gransfors Brooks or Council tool axes to bring the prices down to where they should be, much like we do with many other things now. I would cut taxes for anyone who buys a chunk of land and builds an off-grid cabin. Then I would buy a chunk of land and build an off-grid cabin.
No transfers, no consoles. Let's build back our Walter Brooks.
Oh, you think we should bring back Walters? Okay, that's a better idea. Kickstart Indigenous axe making. Grants to Toronto Blacksmith. Get Walters back up and running. Renationalize the Hudson's Bay Company, like Tenenbaum says, and restore its traditional workings. That would work. We would institute for schools like a Swedish system where Sloyd is part of the part of the school system. Kids learn how to carve little horses or something. Well, here they carve little moose, mounties, grizzlies. Start off with a vegetable peeler, I guess. Starting like grade 3 or 4 with the carvings. I would, I think this works.
Minority Liberal, predicted by Radio-Canada and CBC.
That would make me happy. Geez, they're at 150 already, though.
I won my elections.
You won? What's your riding? No, don't tell me. Tell me in the private chat. In the province of Quebec. This is
my riding? All Liberal, forget about it.
Are you in Yeah, okay, I see what you're doing. I see where you are. Because everything from Longueuil to Saint Constant is red. But it's all surrounded by BQ. I mean, these are all still leading, though. These aren't... Yeah, that's liberal. Rosemont La Petite Patrie is running NDP. Oh, Alexandre Boulris. Okay.
No, there's 2 of them that have been elected and 31 leading.
Yeah.
Well, 3 now elected.
Yeah. What's the riding that
another one on NDP is Berthier-Mesquinanger.
I don't see it. Where is it? Oh yeah. Huh. I'd be sad if Ruth Ellen Brosseau loses her seat. She went from being kind of a joke to really getting it.
Yep.
Serge, I'm going to lose my riding too. Don't worry about it. But I knew I was going to lose my riding.
And by the way, well, Ruth Ellen Brosseau was a joke at first,
Yeah.
but she's kicking it right now.
Yeah, she really worked hard to overcome that. For those of you guys who aren't Canadian, Ruth Ellen Brosseau got voted. There was when Jack Layton was the head of the NDP, they made a real push for getting Quebec representation because the NDP had only ever had one seat in Quebec in its entire history. But Jack Layton was a very good leader. He had a lot of charisma. He was from here. He lived in Toronto, but he spoke French like a street Montrealer. And so there was this orange crush, and they killed the BQ, the Bloc Québécois, and got a bazillion seats. Now Ruth Ellen, some of these NDP candidates weren't really expecting to win. It's just to be a federal party, aside from the Bloc for some reason, you have to have someone in every riding. So Ruth Ellen Brosseau was like a waitress, and she wasn't even in the country at the time because she wasn't expecting to win.
Yeah, but Jack Layton was born and raised in Montreal.
Yeah. So when this woman, Ruth Ellen Brosseau, finally shows up, she doesn't speak French. They're asking her, and she's in a French riding, right? And they're like, what are your plans? And she's like, une chose à la temps instead of une chose à la fois. But she had the job, and she took it seriously, and she did what she had to become, a legit parliamentarian. And I think she's done really well by that riding. If she doesn't win tonight, it won't be because of her. It'll be because everyone's voting. What do you call it? Voting tactically, voting strategically to keep the Conservatives out. CBC News projects Liberal minority government. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Come on, Ruth. Yeah, Tenenbaum, I know exactly what you're saying. I was very into Jack Layton. I thought he was what Ottawa needed.
And Maxime Bernier looks to have been defeated in his own county.
Which one is his? He's not. What is his riding?
Maxime Bernier.
Yeah, but he's where?
In Beauce.
Oh, Beauce. I'm not even looking in the right part of the province. Beauce. But, that guy's an idiot. Sorry to say, but that guy's an idiot. He gets grumpy because he didn't win the leadership of the Conservatives, so he breaks off and creates like a populist fringe party. That's no way.
Right now, if you're looking at the map of Canada, it is really, really weird and cool because everything is segregated.
Yeah.
All over the place.
What you'll see is a lot of it of Liberals and NDP and BC with maybe a little bit of Conservative in sort of the interior. And then it'll probably be straight up Conservatives right through to Manitoba.
It is cool and sad at the same time.
Yeah. Jonathan, no, it's not a Scotch tonight. It's a Canadian whiskey to because it's it's all about Canada up in here tonight. Anyway, Seth, I'm with you. I'm glad to see that Max is getting killed in his own riding. I think he deserves it. It's funny, Tenenbaum, that you said to renationalize Hudson's Bay Company and restore its traditional workings. There's an old trading post on the Lachine Canal here that now it's been all done up as a museum. And when I was a kid, it was a museum as well, but it was not as... It was essentially the way it had always been, but with little plaques everywhere. Now it's like a museum. They've redone sort of the interior and made it all, everything's behind glass and everything. And when you used to, I went in there as a kid on a school trip, and the smell of like leather and furs and fire smoke and stuff was so strong that I still remember the smell. And like the old school Hudson's Bay Company before it became the Bay sort of has the same character to me. Like I think of it and I think of that smell. Tenenbaum, what are you doing up at this time?
It's funny that you saw the old trading post on the Lachine Canal. While I've worked in the last fur vault that is still existing, by the way, in Montreal.
Where is that? Okay, Tenenbaum, I see. Wow, where are you watching the hockey online then, Tenenbaum?
The last fur vault of the Hudson Bay Company is located on René Lévesque near Square Phillips.
Yeah.
It is René Lévesque and Saint Alexandre.
Interesting.
Just across the SNC-Lavalin headquarters.
Yeah, I know where that is. Streams for every NHL game. Yeah, Serge, I know. It's just it's funny because on the Book of Faces, one of my cousins had shared a note from someone in Alberta.
That building is basically bomb-proof.
It's like a bank vault, only more. And they were saying, like how Alberta depends on blah blah blah, and I'm like, man, Alberta had 40 years to prepare to do like what Norway did, and prepare for oil tanking, and they did nothing. I still remember what was that premier's name? The guy who gave every homeless person in Calgary a one-way ticket to Vancouver. What the hell was his name? He was Prime Minister of Alberta. He was Premier of Alberta for a long time. But, he was like handing... Like Albertans were getting like $1,000 checks instead of them putting that money into a trust fund or whatever it's called. Not a trust fund, but like putting it into a fund for when oil starts to tank, or diversifying the economy for when oil starts to tank, or any of those things that a grown-up would do. Because no matter what you may think of oil versus solar or whatever, climate change, no, whatever, the fact is oil has always been boom and bust. And if you're not preparing your province for the busts, you're not doing your job. Period. And there's an entire country that's done it right for decades. You know? Because the thing is, I seem to remember Alberta started a fund and then just emptied it. The Heritage Fund, yeah. And the thing is, Alberta could probably be a killer solar province. They got the space. They got the, you know, when it's a sunny day on the prairies, man. I just like put 3 big solar farms up, and it would really be something, you know. I mean, Quebec is not going to be a big solar province. We're hooked way too into hydro. We've dammed every major river in the province, you know. But Alberta has an opportunity. Saskatchewan has an opportunity. Manitoba has an opportunity. Those guys can become the next generation energy center of the country. But, you know, I don't know, you know. It just drives me nuts. What are you looking up there, Simon?
Well, Quebec has just too much hydropower, tapped and untapped.
Yeah, true. That's very true. What's the seat count like right now? Now, this is interesting because Liberals are elected or leading in 143 seats. The Conservatives are elected or leading in 114. But the Conservatives are actually elected in 9 more seats than the Liberals. The Bloc is leading or elected in 35, but 9 of those are elected. The NDP is leading or elected in 20, but only one of those is actually elected. And the Greens have 1 leading. And that's it so far. People's Party still isn't even, they're 1.7% of the vote. Forget about it. Independent, 0.5%, and other, nothing. Sorry, Marxist-Leninist Party of Canada. But it's, you know, it's weird because the Bloc Québécois has 7.8% of the national vote share. The NDP has 14.4%, and the Bloc's numbers are better because they're concentrated in one province. Like, the way the numbers shake out, first past the post voting is not the right system for most countries. In the States, it kind of works because it's essentially a 2-party system. But in Canada, where you've got like 6 parties this time around, 5 parties in previous elections, first past the post just doesn't cut it. It really doesn't.
What is PVC?
That's the People's Party of Canada. That's Maxime Bernier's party. He's not going to hear me for 30 seconds. Jonathan, Jonathan recognized the Glen Kern glass. You know, this one is from Alberta, from the Kensington Wine Market. These glasses are expensive, dude. And they're expensive because it's such a new design that there's still only one company making them. One company has the trademark.
They might get one elected.
PPC? I don't see them showing up at all. Simo, can you take control of the live stream for a minute? I have to step away for a second. Just wait 30 seconds. This lag is killing me.
Yep, in Fredericton.
Fredericton.
Yeah, I only have 30 seconds of lagging.
Okay, I'll be right back. Everybody listen to Simon.
Yeah, let's go. Let's talk about something 30 seconds later. Yeah, whatever. No, Canada's map is, well, quite demonstrate how Canada is divided right now. And that's kind of sad. Um, still, still weird. I don't know. I wasn't prepared to see that kind of map today. It is. The country is more polarized than probably ever did, and ever was. I'm sorry.
Hi. What I missed? I agree with
Okay.
what Scott just said.
PVC is actually the Green Party of Canada, and the Greens are actually leading in Fredericton.
Oh, PGC. Serge, by the way, said that. And I agree with that. And I would also like to talk about that.
Tenenbaum, I totally agree with you. I'm wondering how social medias are, well, more than Cambridge Analytica, are getting the social media on its own are influencing Canadian in a good and bad way.
In a good way too, you think? All I see from social media is like constant streams of toxicity. It's like, it used to be that the NDP guys, the Liberal guys, the Conservative guys didn't agree with each other in the House of Commons, but outside of the House, that was just business, And now it's like people hate each other. Like it's not as bad as it is in, say, the States. We're not ripping the country apart, but it's not. It doesn't. It's not guaranteed that it's not going to be that bad. And I hate the fact that voting for one party over another.
That's the exact same thing as social media influence how things are going in the U.S. It is the same thing with Democrats and Republicans, only worse because they have only two main political parties.
Yeah.
The divide in the U.S. is probably worse in Canada, and mainly because the social tissue of the society is just getting worse and worse.
Yeah. I like what Tenenbaum said here. I mean, that makes perfect sense. I mean, that's how, I think any election is influenceable now, because the technology just changed the game, as Tenenbaum said. And it's like, it's funny, man. I just looked at the Liberals again, leading or elected in 146 versus the Conservatives 118, but the Conservatives are actually elected in 5 more seats than the Liberals. And then the New Democrats for that number 24 they've got.
Don't try to find me on Facebook or the main platforms.
I essentially use social media to bring people to my YouTube channel, but I do have a personal Facebook page as well that I use, but I don't spend that much time on Facebook anymore. I don't have the energy for that much outrage all the time. I'm loving what's happening to the People's Party right now. Like at 1.6% of the national vote. The independents, all of the independents are at 0.4%. It's too bad with the Greens, though. I was really hoping they'd make a bigger showing.
The Bloc Québécois is doing an awesome night.
The BQ is doing to the New Democrats what the New Democrats did to the BQ when Jack Layton was around. Because they're just killing the New Democrats everywhere, right? Oh yeah, the New Democrats are right now at a loss of 16 seats. Granted, the Liberals are at a loss of 31, so I don't know if... Hold on. Excuse me, guys.
Well, not only in Quebec, but the New Democrats are actually getting armed all over the place.
Yeah.
Worse than it was.
Yeah, it's because everyone's voting Liberal just to stop the Conservatives. They're trying not to split the vote. Yeah. And like Justin Trudeau is expected to win his seat. CBC News projects. I wonder though if he led the party to a 31 seat loss. Let's just say that what the numbers are right now. The Liberals lose 31 seats. The Conservatives pick up 21, which kills me. The Bloc picks up 25. The New Democrats lose 15.
Now Liberals have more elected than the Conservatives.
But because Justin Trudeau is leading them into a poorer showing than last time, how safe is his job as party leader? Mark Miller is very popular, especially because he speaks 3 languages, right? He speaks English, French, and Mohawk. Mark Garneau could probably make another run for the party leadership. Justin Trudeau's got a lot of millstones around his neck right now. So how safe is his job as party leader?
He's safe. Justin Trudeau is safe as party leader. I don't expect to get I'm pretty sure that Trudeau will stay. Scheer will stay. Blanchet is elected in its own seat, riding in Chambly.
Yeah. Well, he's leading his party to a very good result. The new Democrats, I don't know. I think Singh is probably safe because they're probably doing better than they would have without him. I'd like to see the Greens hit like 6 seats. You know? Yeah, I don't know.
Singh is not safe.
You don't think he's safe?
The, I'm pretty sure that Singh is probably one of the chiefs that of the leaders that that is seated on an ejection seat, but doesn't have any control over it.
Maybe. He hasn't won his seat back yet, right? What's his seat? He's somewhere in the Toronto area. I know that, but I don't know where he is.
Maxime Bernier is officially defeated in its riding.
Oh well. See you later, Max.
Singh is riding in Burnaby South in British Columbia.
Oh, I thought he was Toronto somewhere. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So that's like wait. Burnaby. Okay, so that's not going to be Lower Mainland. Yeah, but not Burnaby South.
Singh is from the Toronto area, but get elected in a partial election.
Okay.
A
Yeah,
few years ago.
a by-election. Yeah, and he's only leading over the Conservative right now by 70 votes. But that's 10 of 192 polls reported, so he's probably going to win his seat. People's Party has 20 votes. It would have been nice if Valleyfield had gone green, Serge. I think, like if... I don't know.
If Singh lost his riding,
Yeah, he'd be tough.
he's out as leader of the NDP.
Yeah. But I kind of feel that he could. I think, as Serge says, he could build on this for the next election in 4 years. But I don't know. I don't know how good for Maxime Bernier loses seat. CBC News projects. I feel so bad for him. Sorry, Max. You know what's weird about Manicouagan is that there are two parts of it that are completely separated from the rest of the riding because of the
4
border.
years is a long and a short time for politics.
Yeah, true. Because of the way the border with Labrador moves, but because Quebec and the rest of the country don't agree on how that border actually happens, it's interesting to see because that obviously affects the northern border of Manicouagan. Looks like in Manicouagan, it's definitely going to be block. They're at 54.2%. Oh, she's elected. Never mind. Forget it. Wow. They called her elected with only 65 of 249 polls reporting. Whew. Okay. All right, then. But, like, Singh came from Ontario provincial politics. He doesn't have a long history in federal politics the way some of the other leaders do. So he may be able to build on this. Oh, as else actually that he was basically an unknown before.
Trudeau is re-elected in its riding of Papineau.
He's re-elected now? Okay. Oh, God, come on, sinuses, cut it out. Oh, Green is elected in one. Nice. Where? Hello?
That's funny. Liberal will need either the NDP or the Bloc to run the country now on.
Could you imagine
cool.
the Bloc? Remember that year that the Bloc was the official opposition? What was the Bloc leader name at that point? Who was that dude? Don't remember. But the first thing he did was take the maple leaf flag out of his office. What the hell is a multi-part polygon, Tenenbaum? I'm gonna look that up. Somebody's got a cat.
Oh yeah. The Bloc leader was Lucien Bouchard.
Was it Lucien Bouchard? The kings of gerrymandering. Truth. I think we may have lost all the Americans on the stream. Hey, Canadian politics are a bit of a mysterious beast to people who don't live here. Oh, the New Democrats have suddenly elected 5. Nice. But now they've gone down to leading or elected in 23 instead of 24. I wonder who they... Bloc Québécois is doing really well. They're elected in 20. They're killing the New Democrats. He said with a certain amount of disappointment in his voice. That's better, eh? Simo has muted his mic. You do a lot of work in geographic information systems. Okay. Tenenbaum, I saw a video recently, I think by Pine Martin, and he had a tent that I wanted to ask you what you thought of. Oh yeah, his recent one about where he's talking. No, that's not it. I mean, since I've got you online here.
2301.
Oh, I see, Tenenbaum, right. Simo, what'd you say? Oh, yeah, 21 for the Bloc now. Yeah.
I've said 2301.
Oh yeah, 2301. I see. So you're saying I should get offline? Hold on, I just want to check. Oh, yeah. It was the one he put up 5 days ago. The ground sheet controversy. No, I'm not going to play it. I just want to share it. Tenenbaum, as soon as I saw this tent, I wanted to ask you what you thought of it. And now that I got you online,
That's wonderful. Another 4 years of wonderful Canadian politics.
yeah. Oh, Tenenbaum knows exactly what tent I'm talking about. So I just have to find out what it is and whether or not it's affordable. Okay, the Bloc and the NDP are starting to pick up. I'm sad to see the Greens not making a better show of it, though. Because, look, I didn't vote Green. I almost voted Green. But I do think that it would be good if we had a good, strong Green party. I think they bring something to the table, you know? Tenenbaum, what's that tent called? I was going to ask Pine Martin. I'll probably ask him tomorrow because I'm going to definitely be checking out the Canoe Hound Adventures interview, like live stream.
Actually, the Green that have been elected in Fredericton, New Brunswick.
Okay. So we know that there are going to be at least two Green.
The other two Green ridings are in potential ridings are in British Columbia on Vancouver Island. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Victoria's going to go Green for sure because that's Elizabeth May. What's the other one? I thought we were going to see some Green action in PEI because of how well they did provincially. I'm disappointed about that. Disappointed. Oh, haba. Okay. Simo, are you still on a 30-second delay? No, Serge, the thing is, he has a 30-second delay, but I don't think I do.
Nanaimo Ladysmith is the other riding. It's just north of Elizabeth May's riding.
Okay, it's good to know. Yeah, it lasts much longer than anything else. What we get? 2019 MSRs, and that's a Tenenbaum. That's a 2% tent he's got. It looks so nice. Am I looking at MSR.com? Nope. I'll just look up MSR tent. MSR gear. Boom, baby.
I believe I'm now at 32 seconds of lag.
32.
And I would believe it is StreamYard that didn't use this lag.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy lag. Some things with their stitching method, which is decision here proof. So let me take a backcountry tent. Haba NX2 person backpacking tent. Ooh. Why, yes. $519 Canadian. Such a cool looking tent, though. Add to cart. Click. I just wish it wasn't red. But yeah, that's good to know. I knew that Tenenbaum would know everything about the tent. I just knew it. It ain't cheap. Nope. No. But it's not like beyond the pale. It's not like way more expensive than a tent should be or anything, you know? My Columbia 6-person came from Canadian Tire. I have no experience.
Paint exists for anything red, right?
I just don't like red. It's a color of anger. 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 I wish it was orange. I saw Canadian Tire at the Columbia tent in that sleeping bag video, and in the camping with my daughter video when we went. What summers ago? I think it's 2 summers ago. Jesus, I've been making a dent in this bottle. After this glass.
I'm heading out. I need to be downtown Montreal tomorrow morning. Way too early.
All right. See you.
See
See
you all, folks.
See you for the real live stream tomorrow. Hey, Coohound. Dennis, man, I've been meaning to talk to you because what you're doing tomorrow is pretty much exactly what I would like to start doing as well. You're in. Simo's just leaving. What I was thinking of doing with my first time of having that sort of interview style would be to have maybe you and Pine Martin on to talk about canoes. And then, well, I mean, you know this because I've said this in some of my previous streams that I like to doing a little 1 or 2 person closed interview using StreamYard. See you later, Jonathan. Oh, and Serge. Let me just do this if anyone else wants to come on. And so I'm going to be, before I do my live stream tomorrow, I'm going to be definitely checking out yours to see how it works. Now, are you paying for StreamYard? Yeah, I hope they wake up to a government we can live with too. Man, I don't have quite the same sense of dismal dismay that I had earlier tonight, but I still, man, oof. Liberals, conservatives, and bloc. Wow. Because the thing is, I mean, once you get to the prairies, the conservatives start to really pick up steam, you know? Now, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your political stripe, there aren't enough ridings there to really swing it if Ontario and Quebec don't go that way. I'd like to see Scheer stay on as leader of the Conservatives because I don't think he has what it takes to beat a personality like Justin Trudeau's. And I don't like what the Conservatives have become. I much prefer the old school PC party because they weren't like socially conservative. They were fiscally conservative, you know? Okay, so Dennis, you're not actually paying for it because I was thinking of paying for like the first paid tier, but it's $200 US a year. I didn't really want to take $200 US off my credit card tonight. But I'm not sure, like, using the free version, what is going to end up being taken away from us at some point, you know? But those of you who are left, you guys are all watching Canoe Hound, right? For his live streams, at least. You know, did they send me a special offer? I don't think so. But as I said really early, I'm like every time I try to check my email, I get kind of anxiety. So I haven't been checking it very well lately. Let me just check. But I don't think they sent me a. Dennis, man, you get like you're better at networking than I am, and you get noticed better than I do, or something. Because Gmail, hold on, let me just check. Yeah, lifetime discount, but it's still $200 a year US. See, I don't know if StreamYard is really worth paying for, but it's so much more seamless than the Google Hangouts app thing that it's $200 a year though. I'll just stick with the free version for now. Oh, hold on. Hey, sorry, I didn't notice you were waiting to come on.
Hey, buddy.
Are you experiencing all as well? All as well. I think you are also getting the 30-second delay.
Buffering on your end?
Buffering somewhere because Simon was having the same problem. It was like a 27-second delay.
Well, you answered me that far. Yeah, you know.
Well, it was.
Oh.
I want to hear what you had to say because that was going to be interesting.
I'll say the whole StreamYard thing. I don't know if it's worth it. The features of what they're doing. And basically offering for $200 to take off. They're kind of not able to brand or StreamYard with maybe your logo and then your own logo on the form. But I'm just trying OBS to running it as a camera. If that's the case, tried their streaming and it won't cost you a dime, right? I just got to figure out
right
on YouTube.
I'm having all kinds of weird issues with well, I haven't worked with OBS in a couple of months now because I was having some issues. But here's what I'd like to do. Tannenbaum, just give us 2 seconds to work this out, and then we'll get back to more interesting stuff. What I would like to do is start with a screen. Rain Dance will start in 30 seconds, and maybe have some background music playing. Click a button, boom. Hey guys, I'm here. And then and have like a logo in the corner. And then when it's time to leave, click a button, boom, go to an outro screen. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
And I had it sort of working at one point, and then somehow I don't know, I lost the that lamp is really blowing out, isn't it? Hold on.
What's it? There you go.
There we go. Good. So that's all I really want to do with the OBS. I'll do it with this camera until I can get my SLR working. Like I bought one of those plugs so that your SLR doesn't blow its battery while you're live streaming, but it didn't work. at all.
They got a constant power.
So, because I'm not going to go buy like a camcorder or something just for live streaming with. That would be a lot of money for live streaming.
Well, you know what? I've had it for quite a while. It actually about 4 or 5. Just it's a HP camera that you just kind of go to. It's in my my camera. My that's right there usually.
Okay, because I have the
this is an
I have
HP,
the Logitech version of that.
right?
Yeah, mine's a Logitech. Yeah. Yeah.
My buddy actually got he's hoping so I could try it out tomorrow. I just want to see if it works. I definitely.
Yeah.
It's got stereo speakers in it, or like stereo micro.
Yeah, it's the same one as I have. I'm not using the mics though. I'm using. Hold on. That. Yeah, I don't know if maybe I should be changing my live stream to Monday nights or something because I only ever get to watch some of yours. And tomorrow night's going to be very interesting because you're two guys who I want to have on to talk about canoes at some point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's already shaping up. Martin week and yeah, we got things planned out and stuff like that. So it's I sent them there to how the show. I'm going to try to 2 hours. Get off. Because
oh, that would be amazing because I'm going to be starting at 9:00.
yeah. So.
Oh, just to remain in the motif of what this live stream is supposed to be, Elizabeth May just won her seat in British Columbia, so that gives the Green Party 2 seats. So they've elected in 2 and leading in 2. New Democrats have 9 and they're leading in 16. The Bloc Québécois, they are elected in 26, leading in 6. Conservatives are making a lot of noise. 96 elected, 24 leading. The Liberals are at 157 elected or leading. 111 elected and 46 leading. I'm glad to say the People's Party is making no showing because I live with a black woman, and that party is not what I wanted to see in Parliament.
No.
So, yeah, he lost his seat. Yeah. Tenenbaum, yeah. I'm not going to be doing that episode tomorrow night, but I'm pretty sure Dennis will be. Because the thing is, I'm trying to buy a canoe as well, right? So I'm interested in doing an episode on canoes with Dennis and Pine Martin. It would be nice if we could get Kevin on, but I don't know. You know, if he doesn't, I don't know how well he really knows who I am. But Pine Martin, I actually struck up a friendship with after I was on that episode of yours with the other 2 guys, with him and Kevin.
Yeah.
So I've been speaking to him a lot. He's invited me to a weekend like canoe camping trip in the spring, maybe. And where he is in Huntsville is only a 6 hours drive from, depending on traffic, because it can take you over an hour just to get out of Montreal right now sometimes.
Yeah.
Because of how many streets are under construction. But it's about 6 hours for me, so I may take him up on that. Go over in the spring, you know.
Yeah.
Because he'll show me some pointers and stuff, and I'll really sort of be able to hone in on what I'm actually looking for in a canoe.
Yeah.
Because the problem is
Huntsville's very, very close to the Swift headquarters on Highway 20 or
okay.
Highway. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you could go to the Swift store.
Sorry, you're gonna have to wipe it up with this handkerchief. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
We're used to it. Yeah.
Should be a good one. Yeah. Did you see Martin's video?
I haven't seen the video yet. I tried to share your announcement, like your posting, your post, but it wouldn't let me share a post because I wanted to share to my viewer, to my subs, and say, "Guess what I'm doing from 7 till 9 tomorrow," but wouldn't let me do it. I'm trying again.
On Facebook, you mean?
No, on YouTube. You know, like how you can just post, well, as you did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I saw your post. It let me thumbs up it. Great, but that's not what I wanted to do. Like YouTube needs a function whereby I can see a post and click a share button so that I can share it to my subs as well. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, YouTube. Oh, and I can't find it now. But anyways, so how much work are you?
I'm sorry?
Their northern line? No, sorry, I was about to say something, but then what you said was more interesting. Swift has expanded their northern line a little. Okay. I didn't know there was a... I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
have
going
to
to
check
look that up.
Nothing about that.
Yeah.
Exum, are you live in Canada?
He is an Ontario boy, but... I'm looking for the north. Sorry?
A bit of a...
Oh yeah, I don't know. It hit me about 3 hours ago. I've been fine up until about 3 hours, and then suddenly, boom. Tannenbaum, that Sweden's a canoe wasteland, really? Excuse me, guys.
Oh, okay. So you're in Sweden. Holy crap. Okay. Oh.
Well, I think Tannenbaum is he's an expat. Oh man, I've been filling that garbage can full of Kleenex all night. All right, we're gonna end it at 23:30, okay, guys? Because I gotta.
I actually got to turn
daycare
in the morning.
5. Why?
Editing a video. Sort of a networking meet at o'clock, and it takes me there. So.
Yay.
Let's get up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we take a break until tomorrow? Tannenbaum, as I'll be doing my normal live stream tomorrow from 9 on. But I'm going to be checking out Dennis's before I do mine, even if I'm just doing it on my phone at like supper time. If you haven't watched Dennis before, check him out. Canoe Hound Adventures. He does a live stream the same night as me every bloody week. But it's just the way it is.
Yeah, sorry.
So thanks for hanging out.
Hey, by the way, good video review you did on the sleeping bag there. I like the way you did that. That was good. It was nice that you incorporated your daughter with it and everything else.
That's my kid. Have you done yours yet?
I used it, and I didn't really do video of it, but I got my photos and I posted my review, and I'm just waiting for it to go live now. So, but before I really do a good video review on it, I want to use it for a few times to sort of get a good feel for it. Right? That's usually what I do.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
When I was at the day camp yesterday, I actually shot 2 review videos. I got to go over the footage of them to see how they turned out. One was for that kid stove, which I'm about to talk maybe next week there on getting that sent over to you so you can start trying it out. And we'll set up a little schedule of shipping type of thing, right? And then the other one I did was on that flashlight that I got sent, that Woven flashlight. So hopefully that turned out well too.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I'll speak to you tomorrow. And okay. Simon says he'll do his best to show up on your live stream before heading to mine. Good.
Thanks,
cool.
Simone. That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right. See you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Later, Jess. Have a good night, everybody.